All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Our Friends Life Care Vigor Wellness webinar today is Avoiding Holiday Scams. My name is Katie Starantino, and I am the Director of Wellness Initiatives. So before we get started today, just a few items to note. We don't have a chat box, but you will notice a Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. You just click that and ask some questions. You can ask them throughout, and we'll check in at the end. Tomorrow, you will receive a follow-up email with a link to review a recording of today's webinar. So you can watch it again, share it with a loved one, and that email will also provide you a link to learn about our upcoming wellness webinars. So without further ado, I'm really happy to announce that we have David Shallcross to speak with us today. David has worked to protect our communities for over 30 years. In 1986, he was appointed as the deputy sheriff with the Bucks County Sheriff's Office. He next became the community resource officer and provided a crime prevention program throughout the county. Then Dave served as an investigator to create the new Warrant Service Unit within the Fugitive Division and was later promoted to a Warrant Specialist in charge of the Fugitive Division. Dave served as a Law Enforcement Liaison for a Federal Contractor and was assigned to special projects for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security from 2007 to 2008. In 2008, he joined the Office of the Attorney General as a Community Liaison in the Public Protection Division of Elder Abuse. In this capacity, he has conducted hundreds of seminars and senior expos. He was promoted to Senior Community Liaison and Coordinator of the Elder Abuse Unit in 2011. And I know he told me I didn't have to read all of that, but he's a very impressive person, so I wanted to. And I'll hand it over to him so he can teach us about what we should be looking out for this holiday season. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Katie, and welcome everyone. Happy holidays. And I hope that you're all staying well and staying safe. Today, we are going to be discussing holiday scams, fraud, and theft, and how to avoid becoming a victim of these things. First, I just want to announce that I am not an attorney for the office. People hear Office of Attorney General, and they assume that we're going to be giving out some legal information. I am not permitted to give legal advice, and our office does not support legal advice to the general public, but we do take your concerns and your complaints, and we investigate many matters. We have a civil division, we have a criminal division, and a public protection division, all working to better your quality of life. So if you have a concern or a complaint, be sure that you contact us at attorneygeneral.gov is our website. If you have some scams and stuff coming over your emails, you can forward them to scams@attorneygeneral.gov. And at the end, we're going to give you our senior protection phone line that you can call in with any type of concern or complaint, and we'll be glad to help out. So without further ado, 'tis the season to be jolly, right? But it's also the season to be stealing, according to the criminals. And we have a lot of Grinches out there. So we're going to hopefully be able to provide you some insights on what to look out for and how to be careful, right? We're just going to cover those common holiday scams, the type of fraud that we're seeing quite often, online and retail shopping safety tips, as well as some home safety tips, things that you can do to protect your own home. So first thing we're going to talk about is those fake order confirmations and sham shipping notices. Oh boy, right now with isolation during COVID, that's been ongoing for quite a while now. More and more people have turned to online shopping, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. I do a lot of it myself. Of course, I do like to go to my local mom and pop shops. That's a important thing when you can, and it's safe to do so. I always promote local business. However, if you are in a situation where online is going to be a little more convenient for you and safer for you, then by all means, just follow some basic safety rules. If you receive an unexpected delivery notice, that could be a scam, right? If you're not expecting a package or you haven't ordered something and it's not on its way, why would you get a notice that a delivery has been pending or delivery has been delayed or a confirmation that is this your proper information for a delivery? Click here. You don't want to click on those things. When you click to cancel or to confirm, a lot of times the tab that you're clicking on is actually going to load malware, which means malicious software onto your device, your smartphone, your tablet, your laptop, computer, and that can take control. It can really just overwhelm your whole computer system. It can steal your contact information, other people's emails, and send them messages as if it's from you when it's not. Not to mention that it can also capture all your passwords, account numbers. It's called a keystroke capture log, and they'll put that into your system. You know, when they send that link, usually that's a blue type with an underline, and they're asking you to click on it, either to confirm or to verify or to move to a website. Use extreme caution. If you do not recognize the sender and you're not expecting a message from that sender, please do not click any links in that email, because that could certainly be a disaster for you and your computer. You know, do notify the company and your credit card service if you are getting these kind of messages. Maybe someone has been able to hijack your credit card. Maybe they're got into your debit account and they're going to be billing you for things that you did not order. Always check statements very carefully. You know, and messages may appear to be from a legitimate source. They can look like the United States Postal Service, UPS, FedEx, Amazon, or any other carrier. You know, again, if you're getting these messages and it appears to be from one of these major carriers or any group, verify the source, right? We want to say that throughout the program. You're probably going to hear it numerous times. Verify the source, right? Look up an independent source to get the phone number of Amazon customer service or UPS or the Postal Service and make inquiries. Say, hey, I got this email. It's suspicious. I didn't expect a package. Is there any way to confirm what's happening here? They will gladly help you out. They want to know about these frauds too, because the scammers are misusing the name of these good businesses that we use every day. And that's making it difficult to do business. And it's making it very difficult for us, our public, to then verify if it's real. So you want to make sure you're doing that each time. More online, right? Oh my gosh, social media, sob stories, and bogus charities. Oh, you know, that's really sad. That hits me in the heart because charities do such good work. They help so many people. And now you get this message and it looks like it's from a charitable organization, maybe one you recognize, right? Could be the American Red Cross, Salvation Army, United Way, Wounded Warriors, etc., veterans. And you want to help. You know, Children's Hospital, all these causes are out there. But how do you know if it's real? How are you comfortable with making that decision? Well, here's some tips. Scammers will create fake crowdfunding appeals too on social media. Crowdfunding is where they ask the public to generate income for a cause. And it could be a charity, it could be a business, it could be to raise awareness of something. But, you know, be very cautious donating to these crowdfunding appeals. Never donate money to an unverified appeal or an offer or a request. Again, look up that phone number for that office, contact that charity's office, and find out, is this legit? Consider giving to those with a personal or local connection, right? Again, your place of worship might be a great place to make your donation. You know who's there, you know who's involved, you know what the cause is and where the money is going to be used. Again, local. We have many charities that have local branches here in Pennsylvania. We could try to verify a source that's local and connect with them. And things that are going on in your community are always great to support and provide income to. Also, don't donate over the phone or online on a computer. You know, when people are calling you for a charity donation, often they're not volunteers. They are paid professional marketing people who are going to receive a commission out of your donation, right? So your hard-earned money, your $100 donation, would you believe that 75 and 85% are average amounts that go into the commission side? So your $100 just turned into $20 or $25 to the charity. That's not where I want my hard-earned money to go. I want to make sure every penny goes to the charitable cause. And I can assure that by not giving when asked. If they're calling you, if they're mailing to you, if they're emailing you, that's not the time to donate. Contact them directly. Again, verification, right? We're going to contact them directly. We're going to find out when that campaign ends, and we're going to find out a direct mailing address and how to write the check directly to that charitable cause. You know, even on the telephone, when you see the phone ring, you look at your caller ID and it might say United Way or Children's Hospital, the local police association, the firefighters fund, veterans. That doesn't mean that's who it is. The bad guys, the criminals, can now, what we call spoofing, alter your caller ID display. I can program it on a computer or an app before calling you to say anything I want it to say. I'll put whatever phone number and name on your caller ID, and you would not be able to determine that it's not true. It looks legitimate. It makes you feel comfortable with the call. But trust me, you can't provide that information to be true. It's a scam 99% of the time. If your caller ID rings and it's someone in your contact list, then sure enough, it's probably them. Any other organization, name, bank, credit card, government office, I would use extreme caution. I would not believe the caller ID, because we get these complaints every day, folks, and I'm seeing this as a routine operation for criminals to alter the caller ID. So let's be careful answering that telephone. Friends or family in distress. Now, this is an alarming scam as well. So much so that I just received a phone call at 8:15 a.m. this morning from a federal agent telling me he has a victim of the family in distress call. An older woman received a phone call saying that her son, who lives in Texas, was involved in a horrific car crash last night, overnight. And he fled the scene and was stopped and apprehended by police. He's in jail. The people in the other car are in critical condition, and the woman in the passenger seat is pregnant and may lose the baby. Well, that's alarming. Oh my gosh, all this is happening. What? My son, how's my son? He's fine, but he's in custody in jail. We need $20,000 for his bail. She ran to the bank and withdrew funds. So, again, you get that call, I'm in trouble, I need your help, grandma, mom, dad. It could be anyone on the phone, someone posing as your family member, someone posing as the lawyer for your family member or the police, telling you there's a problem. Well, it's not your grandchild, it's not your friend or other family member. Most likely it's a scam. Don't agree to just send wire transfers, that MoneyGram, Western Union type of action. Don't provide gift card, the code on the back or the credit card information or these prepaid debit cards. These are how the criminals want you to send the money, because it's difficult to reverse those transactions. It's difficult to trace and nearly impossible for you to get your money back. We want to be careful. If you get a call like this, hang up immediately, call your family and confirm. Again, verification. Is Jimmy safe? Where's my grandson? What's happening? Oh, mom, what are you talking about? He's right here on the sofa. Oh, he's not in prison in Tijuana. Mom, no, what are you talking about? Well, that's a lot better than sending $20,000. Be a little embarrassed that you got caught up in the moment. That's fine. Remember, you did nothing wrong. The person calling you is the criminal. They should be embarrassed, but they're not. They're very bold, and they will take advantage of you time and time again. Email scams and cloned websites. Oh my gosh, right? I mean, this stuff is just coming at us like a blizzard. I know it's the holiday season and, everyone's out there shopping online. And like I said in the beginning, well, guess who else knows that? The criminal. And the bad guy is very talented, unfortunately. They're able to replicate websites and emails that look official, that look like they're from your favorite retailer. Whether it's a brick and mortar store like Target, Kohl's, or Walmart, trust me, the bad guy can put it out there and make it look like it's the sale ad for Macy's. Or could it be the online eBay, Amazon, those type of shops? Absolutely. They're very talented in how they can change these things. So you receive the email and it says that your account has been compromised or more information is needed to verify and approve your account status. Well, that could be a scam trying to trick you into giving up information. And again, there's probably one of those links, that blue highlighted underlined link. Click here to then confirm your account information or protect it. Don't do it. Do not click on the links until we verify the source of that email. Is it legitimate? The scammers, again, are very good at cloning. They make those apps and websites look like the trusted sites. We don't want to click on any of these things. You know, another trick you can do in the email accounts too is take your mouse and move the cursor up to the top bar where that incoming email address is showing. And just let the cursor sit on it. Don't click down. Just let it sit there. What we call hovering. Hover over the email address. And sometimes if they're using what's called a masked email address, the true source could show up and be out in the forefront, and you'll know that it's a scam not to provide any information, personal or financial information, these requests. And that brings us to phony classified ads. You know, anybody can print anything they want in the newspaper, in a magazine, online, or even in your mailbox. Criminals are creative writers. You see that ad for an item, it's an unbelievable deal, one of the hottest gifts this season, and you haven't been able to find it any store. Well, it sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it probably is. And the seller insists it needs to be shipped immediately or you won't be able to get the item. Well, that's a red flag. Anyone rushing you into a decision should be used with caution. Back off, give it some time, think about it. Why are they in such a rush? Why do you not have time to shop it out and look for other options? Why can't you check out their source to be sure it's verified and that it's true? They don't want you to have time to do that. That's why they're rushing you, and they want it to happen now. Never wire money or gift cards to another party due to an overpayment. That's another trick in these ads. Somebody will put out an ad and say that they're selling maybe some china cabinets or some old holiday decorations or a coin collection. You know, as we all get older, we start to downsize our homes. Sometimes we have things to sell. Somebody responds to that and sends you a check for more money than you're asking. That's a red flag. That overpayment is always going to be, oh, I made a mistake. I'm so sorry. I was writing out numerous checks at the same time. I meant to put $15 down for that coin that you have, and I put $1,500. Oh my goodness. Well, I'll tell you what, you keep $100 and you send me back $1,400 and we'll call it a day. Well, you got a bad check. It's going to bounce. That first check is not going to go through the bank security. And if you wire them $1,400, you're out your money. It's gone. If you need to meet someone because you've put an ad out or they are responding to an ad, or maybe you are, and you want to make a purchase or an exchange, meet in a public place for that transaction. All right. If it's an electronic device, plug it in, make sure it works before you exchange the funds. And when I say a public place, here's my tip. Look up the address, the street address to your local police department. Don't tell the buyer or the seller that it's a police agency. Just tell them, oh, I'll meet you down at 57 West Main Street at 2:00 tomorrow. And when they pull into the police parking lot, if they're up to no good, they're going to turn around and skedaddle. Right? So always make sure it's someplace safe if you're going to meet anyone online or through a newspaper ad for a transaction. Oh, yeah. Gift card scams, the gift that just keeps on taking. You know, these things are, again, very tricky. We get involved in gift cards at the holiday season. Well, they're convenient. They're very inexpensive to mail rather than a big package. And people buy what they like, right? I appreciate a good gift card, right? But is it true? Is it a real gift card? You're getting a pop-up on your screen, maybe if you're online, and it's a free gift card exchange. Or all you have to do is fill out 5 questions on a questionnaire to receive a gift card. I wouldn't trust it. I would tell you that most likely this is a scam. These pop-ups come up and the scammers use them to gather your personal and financial information. The exchange sites, right? If you get gift cards, you get a gift card for a store that you really have no interest in. If you get a gift card for a ski shop and you've never been skiing in your life and you're not interested, what do you do with it? Well, there's exchanges where you can trade that for a gift card you may like. The problem is, are the gift cards still valid when you make the exchange? Is it a true site? Is it legit? Again, be very careful. Don't purchase gift cards that look like they've been tampered with in the stores. You know, a lot of times they're on these racks and anyone can handle those cards. And the bad guys have a way to then scrape off the coating, take a picture of it, and put silver back on. You buy the card and you think it has value. You just put loaded $100 on it and you mail it to somebody. They go to use it and it's zero. Because the scammers will just keep testing the website with that account and code number until they see there's money loaded, and then they extract it because they have the code. Always try to buy a gift card that's behind the counter or in a more secure vendor area. Sales ads and flyers is another way to then redirect us and trick us. You know, click to see if that super deal is really good, right? Well, don't click on the ad, call the store, right? Check it out. Make a phone call. If that ad says that JCPenney has a super value deal, call JCPenney, Best Buy, Staples, wherever the ad is for. Confirm. If the price sounds just too good to be true, call and confirm. Ask how many items are available at that price. It could be a loss leader. It could be a bait and switch. You know, they could put this item out that's really going to attract a lot of customers to come in, and it's an in-store sale only. You have to physically go to the store sometimes. They get you in the store and they say, oh, it's too late. We sold out. But we're going to offer you Fred's TV in place of the, the LG or the, Sony, whatever that you were looking for in the ad. Well, is it the same value? Am I getting my money's worth with the switch? Comparison shop. Many retailers will honor another retailer's lower price. If you can show it in an ad and prove it, often they'll give you the same deal. But before shopping, here's the most important part of the store to go to. I know I ask this to an audience all the time. Where would you go first when you go into a store to be holiday shopping? And I often hear the shoe department or the ladies' room, but that's not the answer. The answer is the customer service counter. What's the return policy? You should know that before buying anything. And if it's online, again, read the return policy prior to making your purchase, because the return policy can vary from store to store and, believe it or not, even within the store. The shoe department may be an independent operator using that space, so it might not be owned by Macy's or JCPenney or Bloomingdale's or Target, whoever. Jewelry also could be a kiosk or an outside vendor selling the jewelry under that brand name within that store. Electronics often have another return policy. So clothing could have 90 days or 120 days. Electronics could be 10 days. Jewelry could be 30. Everything could be different. So you really want to know what the exchange and return policy is. And do you need to have all the original packaging? Do you need your receipt? Do you need to have it returned within a certain format? How do they want it shipped? Are you paying the shipping to return it, or will they cover the shipping? These are the questions to ask prior to making any purchase. And yes, pickpockets and shoulder surfing is still going on out there. You know, when we're in crowded stores and we're in a rush, we're victims. That causes us to be a victim because we're not aware of what's happening around us. You know, in law enforcement, we call that situational awareness. Don't be focused just on the sale item in front of you. You have to look up once in a while. You have to look around, look behind you, look to your left, to your right. Is that same person seem to be right near you every store you've been in? Well, that person might be tracking you. Maybe it's a pickpocket, maybe a purse snatcher, right? We want to be aware of what's happening and who's around us while we're shopping. Carry your wallet in your front pants pocket, especially gentlemen, right? That way you can put your hand in your pocket and hold on to your wallet if you feel somebody's suspicious nearby. If you're carrying a handbag or a purse, it should be close to your body, closed and snapped and zippered, and you want the opening to be facing in against your body, and you want to wear a cross strap, one of those long shoulder straps. And of course, if you can, put your coat over top. Not only do you now make it impossible for someone to grab onto that shoulder strap and pull you down, but they don't even notice that you have a purse. You may not be selected as a victim. Avoid carrying large amounts of cash and too many credit cards. If you have all this on your person, it's all subject to theft. If you're in line, don't pull your credit card out early. Wait till the cashier is asked for it. You're standing around waving that credit card in your hand, and all the criminal has to do is pull up their smartphone and take a picture across the aisle, and they have your credit card information. Keep it private. Keep it secure. Before you leave the store, be sure you have your receipt. Make sure your change is correct before you walk away from the register. Now, getting to and from is also a dangerous situation in some cases. We want to be sure we're safe in the parking lot. We're safe approaching the retail store, the mall, the shopping center. These are things that we can do. Stay alert and be aware, right? Again, look around. That's situational awareness. What's happening around us? Always park in a well-lit area close to an entrance. And, I hear this often. Well, I shop during the day. I'm not worried about that. Well, no, listen, you might arrive during daylight, but you run into some friends at the store. You start chatting. You stop at the coffee shop for some coffee, and you still have 2 more gifts to purchase. By the time you're in that long line and you make your way to the exit, guess what? It may have gotten dark. Nightfall comes at 4:30 in the afternoon now. So really, even if it's daylight when you arrive, I offer the advice that you should be parking under a street lamp, a parking lot light, and as close as you can to the entrance and exit. If you're shopping alone, which you shouldn't, always take a friend or a companion. But if you find yourself on your own, wait in your car with the doors locked until you see other guests coming through the parking lot and join in and walk together as a group. Much safer. If you have too many packages, make frequent visits to the car, but put them in the trunk. So before you leave for the mall, make sure there's room in the trunk for your packages. Out of sight, out of mind. You put them in the back seat or in the front seat, people walking by can see the package and want to break into your car. Always secure, out of sight in the trunk. And if you think somebody's watching you in the parking lot or followed you, after you load your goods in the trunk, take your car and go take a lap around the parking lot and pick a new parking space on the other side. That way, that person won't know that you're going back into the store. They'll assume that you've left for the day. Before getting back in your car, scan the interior of your vehicle. Make sure no one's hiding inside or under or around your car. And that includes the cars next to you on each side. Just to be safe. I'm not saying that there's a high risk of someone doing this. There's been stories for years about how people will hide in the parking lot and try to grab someone or grab your purse. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I'm going to suggest that we look around and be aware of what's happening near our vehicle, the cars on each side and around the car before we open the key to open the door. And that's another thing. As you're walking, keep your keys in your hand. That could be a weapon if necessary, if someone does try to attack you or grab your purse. Be smart about using your smartphone and social media. What are we sharing? Sometimes we're our own worst enemy. We give out too much information. We provide the details that the scammer needs. So social media is a great place to harvest information if you're a bad guy. Don't post that you're going on vacation. If you're getting in the family truckster with the Griswolds and you're going on that vacation for the holidays, don't mention that on social media. Wait till you return to post any photos or information about the trip. Because while you're away, someone's going to realize you're not home. Perfect time for a burglary, right? Somebody wants to get into your house. If you're away for the week, that's when they're going to strike. If you have high price items that you received as gifts or have purchased for others as gifts, don't photograph them and put them on social media. Make sure they're not in the photo, even innocently. If you're just taking a snapshot of you and some friends, don't have the big screen TV and the brand new box right behind you. That's not going to be a good idea. Take your location services and GPS settings and turn them off on your smartphone before taking digital photos. because once you take the photo and that service is provided, it will link the location where the photo was taken to that picture that you post online. Anyone can right click, go to properties, and locate your home. We tell this to families all the time. Turn off the GPS, turn off location services. Then enjoy your photos and post them as you please. Don't post any plans of what you're doing during the holidays, that you're going to a party, you're visiting friends out of town. Only show the result of a great holiday event after the fact, right? Then it's too late for that information to be used against you. Lights, cameras, and other actions. Porch pirates. Oh my gosh. We're going to talk to you about some of the things that go on around the house. First off, if you can, get an automatic timer for your indoor and outdoor lights. And I don't just mean the holiday lights. I mean the lamp in your living room near the window. The lamp upstairs in the back bedroom facing the backyard. When these come on at different hours automatically and shut off again in a few hours, that makes the impression that someone's in the home. Even if you're out shopping, you're visiting, you're on vacation, doesn't matter. People that are watching your home trying to target it for a burglary are going to see light activity and assume that someone's in and out of that room. Even have the same light go off and on 2 or 3 times during the evening. That even makes it more believable that someone's coming and going. You might ask your neighbor if you're going to be away, if they have a second vehicle, to park it in your driveway. If you don't have a second vehicle, you want the idea of car being parked in front of your house in the driveway to show that someone is more likely at home. Get a doorbell camera. They're a great item, right? It helps prevent those thieves that come that we call porch pirates. When we get that Amazon delivery or the FedEx driver drops the package at the door, if it's unattended too long, it can disappear. Criminals will check the neighborhoods for unattended packages and parcels, and they'll grab them right off your front porch. At least if you have the doorbell camera, it may deter that theft. And if it doesn't act as a deterrent, it will document the occasion. You'll have evidence. You'll have proof of what happened. Maybe even catch a license plate number from the vehicle speeding away. If you're not going to be home and you have a package coming, ask a neighbor if they can take the delivery and use their address. Use your office address if you're at work. Or a lot of retailers now have what they call delivery parcel lockers, where you can have it sent to another store and go pick it up with no purchase necessary from that provider. Burglars also check the trash. They look for boxes of household items that might have expensive things they just received over the holidays. That's how they detect who to rob. Holidays are a great time to create and update your home inventory list. You know, years ago, it was a real push to get an engraver and engrave your driver's license number on your valuables. I still recommend that. Then provide a list of those valuables to your local police department if anything's to happen. The mechanics of scams are often the same. Sudden contact, act now, money or information is being requested usually equals a scam. Suddenly you receive a phone call. Suddenly you receive an email. Suddenly you're receiving a text. That contact is not something you expected. And there's a matter of urgency. They're telling you to act now. You have to do something right away for this to be resolved. And of course, they want your money or personal or financial information. SCAM equals a scam. If you have a complaint about a fraud or a scam, contact our Bureau of Consumer Protection at 1-800-441-2555 and email us at scams@attorneygeneral.gov. You can also go to the website at www.attorneygeneral.gov. And on the very front homepage in the top right is a white rectangle. It says submit a complaint. If you have a concern or a complaint, you can click there and you'll see a whole list of different complaint forms that you can utilize. That's our program for today. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And Katie, let's see if we have any questions from our audience.
We do, and thank you. That was, David and I were talking before this, and it's a very emotional experience to get caught up in this, and we really appreciate learning all these tips. There's a lot that I learned through this. So you can hover your mouse over the Q&A box, and then that will come up, and you can ask a question. I do have some questions that came through. So if your email is stolen, what would you say is the first step you should take after that? Your email address.
Your email address has been hijacked. You want to first off reach out to everyone that you know in your contact list and warn them so they do not become a victim of a scam. Because the first reason they're going to steal your list is to then trick your friends. They're going to send an email that appears to be from you saying that you're in some kind of danger, you need some type of assistance, or you need a financial loan quickly. And your friends could be subject to theft and fraud by receiving that email. Secondly, you want to put all new passwords on your accounts, refresh everything, and verify that your security software and firewall are still up to date and intact. If they're not, you want to get one from a legitimate retailer. Don't click a pop-up for free security services, for free firewalls, any of that nonsense, because the criminals, believe it or not, are sending you pop-ups telling you here's a free security upgrade, and it's really giving them the back door to get into your computer system.
They've really figured a lot of things out, haven't they? They're everywhere.
They're terrible. They're terrible.
Okay. And how successful is your office in identifying scammers and holding them accountable?
Well, that's a great question. And I'll tell you what, we are successful in some cases. Unfortunately, the major problem with this is most of these actors are not in the United States, let alone Pennsylvania. A lot of them are operating overseas, which we then have jurisdictional issues, right? We don't have a lawful authority to go there and extradite somebody back on some of these crimes. Some of the crimes don't rise to the level of extradition under the law. Other countries do not participate in extradition matters with the United States and fail to recognize our authority. Occasionally, we are very lucky. We just had a couple of cases not too long ago. We did a identity theft ring. We broke up and made 59 arrests. And we had over 100 victims that were being lured into having their debit cards compromised. We also had a case where we arrested a Jamaican sweepstakes lottery scammer who made the error of actually traveling into the United States. He landed in Florida, and then we had him extradited here to Pennsylvania. So, we do investigate some of these matters when we can. The best tool that we have is education, like today's program, to better warn people not to be the victim. Because, one of the things that the citizens really don't think about is, you understand your money's insured at the bank, but when you allow it to leave the bank, it's no longer insured. So if you willfully provide your account number, your PIN number, you do a withdrawal or a wire or a transfer or give out that debit card account, you're willfully removing your money from that protected insured location of the bank. And now it is not protected and you will not get a refund. So if you're willfully providing information or assets to the criminal, your money is gone and you're really probably never going to see it again.
Right. So we have a question here. Is VPN, which I believe is a virtual protected network, is VPN worth the expense and should it be used all the time?
I think so. Yeah. I believe in every level of protection that you can add is better, right? So, if you built a wooden fort or you built a stone castle, what do you think is going to give you more protection, right? Well, the stone castle is going to have a 9-foot thick wall where the wooden fort is going to have the 2x4. So I believe in the more the better. If you can afford it and it's within your means, I would say, yes, get a VPN. If it isn't, then, we have to manage with what we have. Not everyone can afford high-tech security, right? But, again, sometimes just the common sense things are enough to keep you pretty safe if you're really closely paying attention to what you're doing online.
Okay, great. So again, I'm going to give a little information, but again, please ask some questions. I'll check in right after this. Hover right over that Q&A box and ask anything else that you're wondering. So our next Vigor Wellness webinar is using the Tiny Habits method for wellness and healthy connection in the new year. And that's going to be Tuesday, January 11th at 11 a.m. You might also want to join us for our Strength, Stretch, and Stability 4-week exercise class with personal trainer Mario Mascioli, which will begin Thursday, January 6th at 10:30. And you can find all our past wellness webinars on the Friends Life Care website. So it looks like those were our questions. I know we'll have a lot of people watching the recording. Please share this with people that you love, and because this is such an important topic. And David, it meant a lot to us that you made the time today. Thank you for being here.
My absolute pleasure. Wish everyone a safe and healthy, happy holiday. Thank you.
Yes, take care. Bye-bye.